Good morning, everybody. This is Barry. Remember Tree Man Barry? Say hello.
Hello.
Right, we're out testing my new toy, my birthday present to myself. The monstrosity that is the Yamaha GTS1000. I picked this up from a guy that bought it from brand new in '94, and he's only done 10,000 miles on it. The difference between this and the average bike is, the biggest thing that stands out is this. The front wheel. If you have a look at it, it's a single-sided swing arm. I haven't done anything to it yet other than clean it, so I'm going to need to touch a few bits up. But look at this, absolutely solid. And on the other side is a very, very large shock absorber, look. This was cutting-edge technology in '94, and to be honest with you, I think it still is now. The single-sided swing arm was invented because the telescopic forks had a bit of a problem, and they still do, that they can sometimes move independently to each other and cause a little bit of a wallow in the frame. This doesn't do that. It's basically part of the frame. So when you go around corners on this, it's just absolutely planted. So what I've done is I've put a camera down here so we can see if maybe we can see the front end working as I go over some bumps and things. It was also fuel injected, which in '94 again was not very heard of. It also had a catalytic converter. One of the downsides of this bike was the fact that it was only 100 horsepower because of some agreement with Europe. It was a gentleman's agreement, so they weren't going to make them full power. So the engine is an FZR1000 engine, and then it was restricted to 100 horsepower and then put in this bike. We're going to see if the 100 horsepower affected it at all. It's a chain drive with a Scott oiler fitted. There's no Scott oil in it. The hugger looks a little bit dated as well. I mean, the whole bike looks a little bit dated, but if you look at it though, it's still got some quite nice elements. Here's one of my favourite bits. Watch this. In '94, I used to have a camcorder, and it was about this big. I'll put a picture of it up. You had to sit it on your shoulder when you used it. Look at this now. Got a little cubby hole here. Got my camcorder in there, spare battery, a packet of extra strong mint. I've got some extra strong mints, Barry, if you want some, mate. Spare battery for the GoPro down there. This is the spare battery for the drift. Look at that. How handy is that? So just pop that back in. And there we go. So fuel injection, single-sided swing arm, catalytic converter, and that's basically it. So what we're going to do is go and have a play on it and see what we think. Here we are on the Via Giulia, where we usually test our bikes. Let's go. No neeks, no electric screen. What I immediately notice about this bike is the weight. It actually weighs 553 pounds, which is 250 kilos. That's just ridiculous. The fuel injection on it is pleasantly surprising. It's actually really, really smooth, which I didn't think you'd get on an older fuel injected bike, but maybe because of the emission laws were not so strict in those days. But here we are on the Via Giulia. We've got a few little bumps and things. I'm going to purposely try and find a couple of manhole covers as well, just to see how this front end behaves around the corner. I mean, so far it's absolutely in line. It's a weird feeling actually. So I'm just so used to conventional telescopic forks. Riding this bike just makes it so much tighter. Everything seems really in trim. It's lovely. I get quite a lot of wind blast from it as well because the screen's quite low. But the wind blast is a little bit different to my Pan-European, because the wind blast on the Pan-European is quite buffety, where this is a steady, solid wind blast. I'm hoping you can hear me because I'm getting quite a lot of wind noise here. I'll tell you what though, it feels very, very tight and very together. There's absolutely nothing going out of shape here. I mean, I'm not really pushing it anyway, but it's just everything feels exactly as it should feel. It feels like a new bike, to be honest. But it's only got 10,000 miles on it, so I suppose it should feel like a new bike, even though it's been sat in the barn for the last few years. Get a little body weight off here, look, get down on it. You do notice the lack of torque because the horsepower's down, but you soon get used to that and you get to ride round it by using your gears a little bit more. But even then, it's a 5-speed box and it's still plenty torquey for modern day roads. The brakes aren't brilliant on it. It's a 330mm front vented disc, and the bike is fitted with ABS, which I don't think works anymore. But the brakes do the job, and again, if you're planning ahead enough, you shouldn't need to be braking heavily. It's very smooth, there's minimal vibrations through the pegs or the bars. And the gearbox, you can hear a little bit of transmission clunking every now and then, but all in all it's very, very slick. I really reckon that this would give a lot of sports bikes today a run for their money on bends, you know. Why Yamaha didn't carry on with the single-sided front swing arm, I'll never know, because it's fantastic. If ever you get a chance to ride one of these things, take it. I have never ridden anything so smooth, planted and good handling as that. Seriously, Barry. I've actually got goosebumps. It's that amazing. Even at, watch your back. Even at 60 plus VAT plus import taxes. It was absolutely solid, mate. So my conclusion of this thing is it's fantastic. It was obviously fantastic then, despite its looks, and I'd say it's still fantastic now. It just inspires loads of confidence. Message to Yamaha, please come out with another one of these. Make it look a little bit better though, because it is a bit of a monstrosity. But get this single swing arm back into production because it's just incredible. Absolutely amazing. Thank you, Yamaha.